stands. I have a feeling we're not going to hit our $138 that we did last night just because there aren't as many people here today, but we're going to give it our best effort. We will be drawing that one at 6 o'clock tonight. The big wine raffle will be drawn at 6 o'clock tonight as well. Those of you who don't drink wine, we're actually just giving away cash. So you can't use I don't drink wine as an excuse to try to get some money. So we'll have those tickets available right up to 5:45 as well tonight. So those people will be coming around as well, or they'll be in the upper second floor lobby. And of course, we have WSBN TV live streaming our final tonight. I don't know how many of you went home after, probably only me, but I went home after the race and we watched an hour of live stream, and my boys loved it. They could actually watch their races and over and critique their own swimming. So it's the link for that is on our Banto website, and it's in the program. And there should be things all around that have the QR code on. So other than our hoodies, I am pleased to announce that we have a $10 off. So hoodies are now $40. There are various colors and sizes available, some smalls, some mediums, and some extra larges. No food on deck, only upstairs, please. All you athletes, please do not eat on deck. We see a lot of garbage left behind on deck, so please, if you're going to eat, go upstairs and eat. Okay, we're going to do O Canada now, so please stand and
Welcome to Day 4, Session 7, our final event of the weekend and this evening to 2022 Prairie Winter International, also known as PWI. Tonight we've got 195 swimmers in 36 heats in just over 97 minutes. We'll be competing in the 200 IM, 100 free, and 200 back. On color tonight we have Bo West. Welcome, Bo.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Good evening, everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Event 423 girls.
Looks like we're not going to have a swim off to start the event. That was listed in the program. It looks like we're getting started right away with the 200 IM A final for 12 and under.
It could be we had somebody scratch or something along those lines. Maybe they both got in, so that's likely what happened here.
Looks like we have one of our Australian swimmers in this final.
Yeah, lane number 3, Anna Somerville, visiting from Brisbane. Got some connection to the Winnipeg community here. See how she fares.
Okay, in the water in lane 1 we have Brooke from the Skimmers. In lane 2 we have Madeline from the Regina Marlins. In lane 3 we have Anna from the Newmarket Racers. Lane 4 it's Hillary from University
What do you see after the first 50?
Well, Calgary brought an extremely strong team here. They've really been dominating, especially on the relays. They got A, B, C, D teams, and no surprise, we got a Calgary swimmer out in the lead here. We got our Australian in lane number 3, as well as the Thunder Bay Sierra Bourgeois from Thunder Bay trying to keep up here, but based on preliminary times, Hillary from Calgary is about 9 seconds ahead, so they're going to have a hard time challenging her for the gold here, but you never know what's going to happen.
Thank you to the friends and family watching at home. Pleased to announce that we had over 4,000 views yesterday on the World Sports Broadcast Network.
Interesting here, most of these girls are doing their sort of a standard back to breast turn here. You don't see a lot of these younger kids utilizing the crossover turn yet, where they flip right onto the side about 90 degrees and they actually do a flip turn in their transition from back to breast. We should see that for some of the older age groups. You can take a little bit of time off. You don't get the benefit of taking a breath in the turn, but it is faster, so I expect to see that for the older age groups. But it is pushing the boundaries of what's legal. If you end up going a little bit past 90 degrees on that turn, you will get disqualified. So the risk some of these older swimmers are willing to take, and they've done it lots of times in practice before trying it out at the meet here. But
traditionally, at what age do you see kids trying to implement that into their plan?
You know what? It's funny. We don't see it much here, but my girls went to Denmark, and you see it down at this age group. They work on that, some of those little details at a younger age, and just I don't know. We don't see it much here yet, but certainly the 13, 14, 15, 16 age group, they should be doing that.
Hillary coming in at 2:35.14. Sorry, Bo. Finish your thought?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see here. Calgary as expected. Hillary came in for the gold medal, followed by Sierra from Thunder Bay, and in third place we had the Australian Anna Somerville here.
Up next will be the B final, 12 and under girls.
The results on the board are official.
The 4 Saskatoon swimmers in here.
The 12 and under girls B final. Madame referee.
4 gold swims, a couple of nose freak swimmers here, and a flatlanders as well. Based on prelims, it should be a very close race between lane number 4, that's Nicole from North Creek, and Piper from the Goldfins. Just about a second separated them this morning.
Lane number 1,
see how they do tonight.
Prairie. Lane number 2, Zara. Cole from Saskatoon.
I love watching the 200 AM, John. I don't know about you, but it's just such an interesting race to watch because all these swimmers have different strengths and weaknesses. So you might be in the lead here. You see lane 5 coming up for the lead, followed by lane 3. Lane 1 is up there, but some of them may not be as strong in the breaststroke or in the backstroke. So the lead changes multiple times in this 200 AM.
Yeah, definitely. I see it even with my own daughter, who's still working on her fly. Typically attempts to catch up in the back, and then if she is going to pull ahead, it comes in the breast and looks to hang on in the free coming home. So it really is interesting. You never really know who's going to pull it out in the end. You really need to be a well-rounded swimmer.
Yeah, especially like if you're not a good breaststroke, I feel like that's where it really hurts in the IM here, more than any of the other strokes. Especially long course, we don't have the benefits of the turns and the pullouts. If you struggle with breaststroke, it's going to be hard to put together a really good IM. Yeah, saw a bit of a crossover turn lane number 3 here, so she's been practicing it back in Nose Creek. Most of these other swimmers are doing the traditional really nice breaststroke there in lane number 4, getting her arms up quick, her head down. Work on getting her hips up a little bit, but she's pulling ahead here now. Strong breaststroker. That is Nicole from Nose Creek. Lane number 3 is hanging in there.
Nose Creek teammate Willis Short.
Having a good swim here tonight. 2:17. Let's see what they bring back in the freestyle. A bit of a battle here for silver medal. I don't think anyone is going to catch Nicole for the win in the B final. I shouldn't say medals, but it is the B final, but first place, which will end up being 9th place overall. Looks like it's going to go to Nicole. A battle here for second in the B final. Looks like Piper from the Goldfinch is kicking into another gear here.
Lane 4 at 2:56.24 as suspected.
Excellent swim here for Nicole. Took about 5 seconds off her morning swim. The same thing with Piper in lane number 5. Piper took about 6 seconds off. Well, short from Nose Creek as well. Shaved a lot of time off as well, but when the other girls do it at the same time, it didn't end up improving her position.
Up next, we've got Heat 3, the 13 and 14-year-old A final.
Heat number 3, 13-14A.
Worth noting that the Goldfinch broke a 13, 14-year-old relay record for the girls that was previously set in 2001. They went 4:49.06 yesterday. One of their swimmers is in lane 4 in this Heat A, followed by a swimmer in Heat B. So Isabel Magus, Victoria Darling, Sammy Benning, and Nicole Godbout set that record yesterday.
Congratulations to the Goldfinch, and it is Isabel Magus here who was out first in the butterfly. Worth noting, separating Isabel and Xinyao from Calgary was 1/10 of a second. 10-100 separating them this morning here. Isabel Magus here is going forward, followed by a couple of Calgary swimmers.
From Nose Creek. Lane 7 is also Lorraine from Calgary Swimming. And lane 8 is Ellie.
Looks like Xinyao is trying to close the gap. Catching up a little bit of the backstroke. Nice underwater dolphin kick and a kick out there. We're almost going to be neck and neck here at the turn. Yeah, I saw a crossover turn there. They come in neck and neck. You see the difference in that crossover turn. You half a body length, almost a full body length ahead there. And that's that difference to make. You don't get the breath. So you may pay for it a little bit, but it's a significant advantage if you execute it well. Yeah, this really strong breaststroke here from Isabel. Lane number 3 and lane number 6 is now challenging for that silver medal. It's going to come down to the freestyle for sure for silver. Really moving up the ranks here is lane number 3. That's Haley Haynes from Calgary. Excellent breaststroke split. Isabel Magus is going to be very, very difficult to catch. Dealt herself a significant lead in the breaststroke segment. Well, we got a battle going on here for the silver. They're about neck and neck. Looks like name number 5. That is Xinyao from Calgary. Close that gap in the first half of the freestyle. Let's see if she can break ahead. Looks like she will. We got the Goldfinch for the gold medal, 2:27.36, about 8 seconds faster than this morning. Followed by Xinyao Peng at 2:30.42, and Haley Haynes at 2:31.44 for the bronze.
Next up, Heat 4, 13, 14-year-old B final. Three gold swim swimmers in here, a couple of Thunder Bay athletes. We've got a Mansa swimmer in lane number 4, and 2 Calgary swimmers as well.
lively here in lane number 4. Very
Lane
strong
1,
breaststroke.
we have Zoe from
She went 2:36.69 last week in Point Claire. This morning, a little under the weather, went 2:38.38.
Lane
Fighting a bit of a head cold.
Yeah, I missed out about the final by about half a second now.
Lane 4 is Quinn.
Not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's nice to be in the middle of the lane and trying to post a good time here. Not surprised to see her a little bit behind in the butterfly. We'll expect her to move up when it comes to the breaststroke. But you got to stay close.
Lane 7 is JC from Saskatoon Goldfinch. And lane 8 is Malik from
Thunder Bay,
Prairie Swimming.
showing Molly Hunt in the lead here after the first 75 meters. Followed by lane number 3 and lane number 8. Lane number 3, it's Sammy Benning. Lane number 8 is Malak Beshri. Pretty close field here. Now we come into the breaststroke leg where we'll see some separation. Oh, crossover turn. Quinn on the move here in the breaststroke. Quickly into the lead. Qualified for Westerns from Westerns last year. I believe that was in Edmonton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Kinsman Center in Edmonton.
Yeah. She qualified for the Canada Juniors, but that was right before Canada Games where she was representing Manitoba. So I had to sit that one out. Focus on Canada Games in Niagara Falls.
Be interesting to see this last 50. Quinn and Molly Hunt have a history swimming against each other in Kenora a couple years ago.
About a 1.4 second lead. See if they can hold off the Thunder Bay swimmer.
Molly Hunt making her move.
And Molly looks like she's closing that gap. 25 to go.
It's going to be a race.
Both are pushing each other here. That's what you want to see. Quinn kicking it in another gear.
Gonna have that head
right
down.
down to the wire. Don't take a breath. Keep your head down. Get your hand on the wall. Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's Quinn Sniley. 2:35.62, followed by Molly 2:35.68. 6/100ths of a second separating first and second in his B final. Excellent race.
7/100ths improvement on her personal best that she set last weekend in Point Claire, Quebec. Great swim by both Molly Hunt and Quinn Snively at the wall there.
Girls A.
Consistent.
Prairie.
15 and over, A final. We got Emma Sluter from Thunder Bay in lane 4. Ava Thompson from Manta in lane number 5. We mentioned her yesterday. Strong breaststroker.
Lane 1 is
Competed
Lola
at
from Calgary Swimming.
trials, Canada trials,
Lane 2, Emily, Calgary Swimming.
in the breaststroke events.
Lane 3,
Distance
Sona,
freestyle as well.
Calgary Swimming. Lane 4
Gotta watch for her.
from Thunder Bay.
And the breaststroke.
Lane 5 is Ava from Manta Swimming.
Emma Sluter, though, she's about 7
Lane 6
seconds
is Roxanne
faster
from
than the
Thunder
second
Bay
place
Interval.
this morning.
Lane 7 is Elizabeth from Manitoba
Poured out
Marlins.
here in 29.59 in the first 50.
Abby from Saskatoon Goldfinch.
Very, very close race for second right now. About 5 girls here that are probably within half a second. Coming into the halfway point. See, that's where you see the crossover turn. Some are utilizing it, others are not. If you execute it and you execute it well, definitely is an advantage. Really long breaststroke in lane number 3, as well as Ava Thompson in lane number 5. Thunder Bay girl in lane number 6. That's Roxana Ramirez. Trying to hang on. Still anybody's race for the silver medal. The gold is no doubt. Emma Sluder from Thunder Bay is leaving no doubt about who's going to go home with the gold medal, but very close. We saw a bit of separation here in breaststroke. Coming down to the freestyle for the silver and the bronze.
Into the turn for the final 25.
Don't count out lane number 6. Lane number 6 is looking very strong. Kicked in a whole second gear there. She might sneak in for the bronze. Can she catch up for the silver? She's closing quickly. It's gonna be Ava Thompson, I think, for the silver.
Ava Thompson, 2:25.13.
Roxana Ramirez from Thunder Bay with an extremely fast freestyle leg. He's going to do 2:25.88 for the bronze medal. Just out touching lane number 3. That's Sonia Bakshi, 2:26.21.
The results on the board are official. Heat 6, 15 and over girls B. Madam Referee. Lane 1 is Matea. From Moose Jaw, Kinsman, Flying Fins. 2 is Petra from Manta Swim Club. 3 is Meredith, Calgary Swimming. 4 is Aline, Manitoba Marlins. 5 is Claire, Saskatoon Goldfins. 6 is Elaine from Calgary Swimming. 7 is Quinn, Manitoba Marlins. And 8 is Katie from Manta Swim Club.
Quinn Mayhew from the Manitoba Marlins, who's out with the early lead. Lane number 7. The lane number 4 is placing that gap. That's her teammate Eileen from the Marlins. Nice looking backstroke. Nice and steady head position. Good rotation. Lane number 2 is moving up here. That's Petra Kosecki from Manta. Like lane number 3 is looking to make a bit of noise here, making a move in this breaststroke leg. Katie Moon over in lane number 8 from Manta, also a very strong breaststroker. She won the Mansas Championships in the summer. Ava Thompson was disqualified, and Katie moved up from silver to gold. She's making a move. She might come in and touch first here. Let's see if she's going to be able to. Gonna be close. It is Meredith with the turn here. 50 to go. It's touching first. Lane number 6. Elaine Wang from Calgary. Putting on the boost this year. Very strong kick. Breathing to the right side. You can watch him all the way in. So he's going to take the win here in the B final. And
very close for the bronze.
87. That was Elaine Wang in 2:30.87. Took about 4 seconds off from her morning time. Takes the win of the B final here.
Next up, event 424, boys 200 IM, 13 and under division.
Event 424, boys 200 IM, heat number 1, 13 and under 8. Madam Referee.
Take your marks.
reaction in lane number 6. That's Ron
Lane
Guitart
1
from
is Deb
Swimming Rocker.
from Flatland Swimming. 2 is Ahmed.
Landon
from
Kennedy is
Manitoba
out here
Marlins.
from the Goldfinch for the early lead.
3, Noah.
Strong butterfly.
Saskatoon Goldfinch. 4 is Landon. Saskatoon Goldfinch. 5 is
Looking
William.
butterfly, breathing every stroke.
Manta Swim Club.
Not everybody does that. Give the right head position, it's perfectly fine. Michael Phelps
Swimming
did it,
Rockers
so
Club.
who might argue?
7 is Dante. Thunder Bay Thunderbolts. And lane 8 is Max. From Saskatoon Goldfinch.
Right now a battle between lane 4 and lane 6. It's Landon Kennedy from the Goldfinch and Ron from the Swimming Rockers. Anything can happen in breaststroke. Willem van den Heever from Manta is sitting back a little bit, but based on his entry time, not entry time, but morning time of 2:48, let's see if he's making a move in the breaststroke. He's leaving himself quite a gap here, though. It's going to be hard to catch. Landon Kennedy trying to break away from Ron in the breaststroke. Lane 8 to make a little bit of noise as well. That's Max from the Goldfinch. As well as lane number 2, that's Ahmed Benani from the Marlins. Landon Kennedy with about a 2-second lead going into the last 50. Question if Ahmed Benani is going to be able to see all the way over to lane 8. He might not know he's there. Dropping time. There's Landon Kennedy from the Goldfinch, 2:37.56 for the gold medal, followed by Ron Gigarth from the Swimming Rockers, taking about 10 seconds off his morning swim at 2:39. And in third place, it's lane number 8. It's Max from the Goldfinch at 2:42.31. Van den Heever ended up coming in 52.46 in lane number 5. And Ahmed Benani from the Marlins, 2:44.08, ends up with 4th place.
Heat 2, 13 and under B.
We've got 5 Manta swimmers in this B final here.
St. James also representing locally here in lane 4 with Aiden Sellers. Just a
I'm not sure if anyone saw that or the officials saw it. They likely did, but Aiden Sellers here got himself mixed up and started swimming freestyle the first couple minutes before it caught on. I would certainly expect the officials to see that.
Yeah, it looks like the headlight timer just signaled the referee.
Yeah. That one was hard to miss. Too bad. We do have 100 free tonight. I wonder whether he got them mixed up. He might have. It's too bad. Too bad for Aiden. We also have Thunder Bay represented here over in lane 7. It's Marco Martino.
Just a quick reminder for those in-house, you got about 10 minutes left to get your wine raffle tickets as well as your 50-50. Last night's prize was $138 to the winner. We still have a few hoodies left and they are currently $10 off. They'll be selling well. Supplies last for $40 tonight. Again, if you're heading out this holiday season and you want to get yourself and your car home, don't forget about Operation Red Nose. Sponsored by MPI and the Manitoba Safety Services and hosted by the Manta Swim Club. You can call 947-6673 or go to rednosewinnipeg.ca. There's also a Red Nose app that you can locate on your provider.
It is now Luke Stibbert from the Manta moved into first place. Strong backstroke. He turned in 124.57. Looks like Aiden Sellers is pushing himself back into the lead in the breaststroke here. I don't see a lot of Calgary male swimmers in this age group. He brought a very, very strong group of females to the meet here. We're certainly very excited to have them all. Best male swimmer. Or maybe they decided not to swim the 200 IM. Could be as well. Got a bit of a battle going on here with a couple of Manta boys who's fighting for second place at this point. As Angar Grewal from Manta moves himself into second place in this B final. So only about 7/100 separating second and third place here between lane number 3 and lane number 5. Luke Stibbert and Angar Grewal. It's going to be Aiden Sellers, so no doubt at this point that he's going to come in for the win. But likely will have a DQ next to his name. Lane number 6 trying to move up a spot here. Looks like we got lots of energy left in lane number 2. Strong freestyle.
2:55.31 for Aiden Sellers.
Yeah, it's really a shame. You know, he took 5 seconds off from his morning swim. His little mishap was swimming a couple strokes of freestyle. It's not something that helped him. It wasn't an advantage. You know, so it's too bad because that time will now obviously not be official. And,
Grewal in lane 5 at 3:02.44, looking like he will get the gold.
Finally, Cole Davidson from Mansa, 11-year-old, wrapping up the final heat here. Looks like there was a DQ as well in lane number 1. That was Cole Davidson. I didn't see what the infraction was, but obviously the officials did. They must have caught something.
Heat 3, 14 and 15A. Madame Referee.
A final.
Lane 1 is Jeffrey, Calgary Swimming. Lane 2 is Harlow, University of Manitoba Bison. Lane 3 is Ben, Manta Swim Club. Lane 4 is Andrew, Calgary Swimming. Lane 5 is Kieran, Saskatoon Goldfinch. Lane 6 is Matthew, Calgary Swimming. Lane 7 is Yanni, Calgary Swimming, and lane 8 is Luke from University of Manitoba Bison.
Matthew Chung from Calgary out for the early lead, followed by Ben Lang of Mansa. Ben is a very strong backstroker, as is Andrew Fenning from Calgary, and now puts himself into the lead. Lane number 2 also making a move. That's Harlem Now from UMan. Let's see if lane number 5 is going to make a move in the breaststroke here. Great. Long pull out.
Lane 6 coming on.
Yeah, Matthew Chung making a move back in the breaststroke, as well as Kieran Dick from the Goldfinch. It's going to come down to the last 50 here. We almost got 5 swimmers that are neck and neck. Down to who's got the strongest freestyle. Matthew Chung with a slight edge. Got about a second lead over second place right now. Oh, it looks like lane number 4, that's Kieran, has got something left in the tank.
Lane 5 coming.
Andrew Fenning is breathing over that side. It's between lane 4, 5, and 6. Very, very close race here. Put your head down, get your hand on the wall. It is Kieran with 2:14.26. Second place is Andrew, 2:14.99, and third place, 2:15.63 is Matthew Chung from Calgary. All these swimmers took about 4, 5, 6 seconds off from their morning swim. When you're in the top level here, quite often you can back off a little bit in the morning if you're confident that you will be in the final. And it looks like those boys were pretty confident that they would be here. We're looking at first place in the B final. It's 2:26 this morning. So
That was actually one of my questions I had jotted down that I wanted to run by you. The idea of prelims and saving something for the final, how do you basically take care of yourself at a long meet such as this, but still make sure that you qualify for the final at night?
Well, to be honest, this is a 4-day meet, and if you know swim the distance event, which was Thursday night, it's really only a 3-day meet. So any swimmers at his age, I would, if I was a coach, I'd be telling him to go for it in the morning. Like, you're trying to get to the next level. You're trying to get to Western. You're trying to get, well, Manchester for some of them, in Western, the Nationals, the Senior Nationals, trials, all that stuff. When you get to that level, you have to go fast in the morning. So get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, Nationals is a 7-day meet, right? 7-8-day meet. You gotta figure out how to swim fast in the morning. You go to the Olympics and you think you can coast in the morning, you better be Michael Phelps. So I haven't seen him here yet, so I would recommend these guys, get in the habit of learning to swim fast in the morning and then try to replicate it. Obviously, if you end up having multiple swims that are back-to-back, my daughter was swimming in Denmark. She had yesterday the Danish National, she had the relay, then she had the 200 free, followed by the 400 IM, all in the span of about 25 minutes. So, in that case, yeah, you might want to strategize a little bit. But if you have time in between races, go for it in the morning. Work on your routine for your recovery. Go see your coach, get something quick to drink, grab your water bottle, go on down, grab some quick proteins of some sort, or carbohydrates, whatever it is. If you like fueling in between races. But, get in the habit of swimming fast in the morning. Especially at the younger age group. Some of the senior boys here, maybe they don't want to. These little kids, should be going for it. Very, very close here for the Goldman 2 Saskatoon Dolphins, boys. 9/100ths of a second celebrating Oliver Guness, who ended up coming second from lane number 2, which was Scott Heinbinger.
The results on the board are official. Heat 5, 16
boys taking quite a bit of time as well.
Madam Referee.
Few names that we're familiar with from yesterday in this next heat. Sam Chisholm, Bryce Tierney, Cole Buxton, amongst others.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the same names in the
Lane
finals.
1 is Andre, University of Manitoba Wiseman.
That's the fun part about 200 IM as well. You're putting back stroke against breaststroke, butterflies, right? If you want to compete at this event, you got to be well-rounded. You got to work on all your strokes. Lane number 1, Sand. Going for the early lead, 27.81 on the Marlins.
Now, we've talked in the past about when you're a younger swimmer, you might be strong in a certain discipline, but as you advance as a swimmer, that may change. So you've kind of talked about this already, but maybe for the listeners at home, about how important it is to continue to work on all strokes, all disciplines.
I mean, if you focus on one event, one stroke, one distance, there's going to be ups and downs. It's proven it's never a straight line, right, John? So if something's not working for you for a period of time, this becomes mentally draining as well. If you don't have anything to fall back on. And a lot of swimmers might be a backstroker when they're 12, but they end up being a butterflyer when they're 15. or it might be a breaststroke by the time they're 18, right? So important to work on all 4 strokes. You never know where you're going to end up. A lot of swimmers start out being, distance swimmers when they're younger. As they get older, they get more and more sprint minded as well. So just be well rounded. Train for the 400 IM when you're a kid, and you can't go wrong.
Sam Chisholm in the early lead, at the third turn.
Yeah, 137 for Sam. He's got a strong freestyle as well. Like he backed off a little bit this morning. He's definitely coming up quite a bit faster. Second place, we've got Bryce Cherney from the Goldfinch here. Sam at 2:07.56. Followed by Bryce Cherney from the Goldfinch, 2:10.61. And it is lane number 6. It's Ian from the Goldfinch, 2:13.31 for the bronze medal.
You had mentioned that your daughters were in Denmark competing in the Danish Nationals. How did they do this weekend?
Yeah, they did pretty well. My youngest daughter, Hallie, has been having a phenomenal season this year. Unfortunately, was sick leading up to it, so she really today was the first day where she kind of competed. She scratched most of her event and just ran the 100 freestyle, but she ended up making the final, and then the final ended up coming in 4th in the 100 free, going 56.1. Which was great for a 14-year-old in the senior final. There was the girl that won in 54.4, out-touched my older daughter Mia, who ended up going 54.4 as well, about 4 6/100s after. But she was German, competing at Danish Nationals and wasn't eligible to win a medal, so the girls ended up coming 1st and 3rd. Yeah, so that was great. Mia had a good meet. She ended up winning 4 golds and 1 silver, a couple more finals. She had a busy meet.
And you mentioned your younger daughter. I believe she's very close to setting a Canadian record and might get a chance at it after Christmas. You want to speak to that at all?
Yeah, it's the 13, 14-year-old Canadian record in 100 breaststroke. There's a little bit of confusion actually about that record, because there's Bill and Tara Sloan, who's been 107 when you look at the standard or the history in that event, but the record is there is 108. So we're just trying to get clarification on why that is. But she's about 2/10 off of that. Now we're going into the long course season, so now the challenge will be finding a short course meet where you can break that record.
Ladies and gentlemen, you
get a
have
crack
5
at it.
minutes before we're going to close down the 50-50 and the wine raffle / cash draw. 5 minutes, please. So go get the rest of your tickets. Thank you.
Obviously, being heavily immersed in the swim community, you've got a chance to see a lot of the next up-and-comers in Canadian swimming. Who are some of the names that you're keeping an eye on that you've seen in the last couple of years?
Well, I mean, if you'd asked me a couple of years ago, you talk about Summer McIntosh, but going in the Olympics, that was no secret. She ended up coming 4th at the Olympics as a 14-year-old, swimming out of Tropical Swim Club, and now she's training down in Sarasota in Florida. She was at the training center in Toronto before that, and now she's breaking junior world records and pushing actual world records as a 16-year-old. So obviously a phenomenal talent. But there's quite a few swimmers of her teammates. It's 2:14.71 here. That's Danyar Askar from Calgary, followed by lane number 4, that's Mahinder Singh in 2:18.42, and in 3rd place, Brett Smith from the Goldfinch at 2:19.48. You just got to look at the standings right now for Ontario Junior International. That's happened. That's happening right now as we speak. And if you look at the at distance freestyles, there's some very, very strong swimmers that are training day to day at the training center. Actually, Eric Prairie from Manta is out at that meet right now, and I'm just getting a text here that he just broke the provincial records in the 1500 freestyle, 15:34. That's the provincial record. 17-year-old Eric broke that record. And I think it was from going back. Yarish held that, another Mansa swimmer, I believe. So great, and congratulations to Eric Dupre. Looks like we had a bit of a flicker there in lane number 1 in this 100 freestyle. That was Adeline Sanwell, and I think we're going to have a false start there, unfortunately for her.
No street.
It wasn't just a little flicker, so I don't think they can let that one go, unfortunately.
And that 9.
Did we have a potential scratch here? Because is that not one of the Australian swimmers in 3 right now?
It is.
Lane
Yeah.
4 is Sophia.
That's the other one. We saw the other girl in the IM. This
Lane
is
5
the,
is McKenna.
I think it's Johnson from
No street.
Newmarket
Lane 6
Racing.
is Olivia.
Newmarket Racing.
Saskatoon Dolphins.
It's Sophia Becker
Lane
from
7 is
Calgary.
Chloe Manitoba
Shot with the
Marlins,
clear
and
lead
Lane
here,
8
followed
is
by
Piper from
McKenna
Saskatoon
Palmer from
Dolphins.
Horse Creek. Trying to close the gap. I think he's not going to be able to do that. There's no doubt that this is going to be Sophia Becker. Tall girl here.
102.85 for Becker. Nice improvement on her time this morning. 104.19.
She's 12 years old and pushing a minute. That's a quality. She looks pretty happy with that swim. Doing 104 this morning, lowering that to 102 here tonight. Got the Australian girl coming in here in 3rd place from Newmarket Racing. Yeah. The board is officially
The results
got a
on the board are
disqualification.
official.
Lane number 1 with the
82,
false start.
400 B final. Madam Referee.
Not a lot of things you can do wrong in the freestyle. To get disqualified, false start is one of them. If you completely miss a wall or you decide to jump off the bottom, there's not much you can do that get yourself disqualified, but you have to stand still on the block. And sometimes in an event like this, it might be a lot of noise. So when they do say take your marks, everybody's going to have to be quiet. Just any little noise like here, or flash photography, as goofy as it sounds, sometimes make these swimmers flinch.
Manitoba Marlins. Lane 3 is Brooks.
You see a lot of these young swimmers when they hit 13 switching to a tech or knee-skin suit. What are the benefits to those suits, and how often should you be looking to replace your suit?
Well, they create a little bit of buoyancy, and they create it that way so they have less drag in this suit than your skin. So when they first came out, you saw swimmers that were covered head to toe with full legs and full arms. And you see Ian Thorpe from Australia was one of the first one in an Adidas suit that started utilizing it. And then obviously Speedo and these other suits follow that lead. Yeah, so it's just a matter of a little bit less drag, a little more buoyancy, so there's all kinds of rules and restrictions now on how thick it can be, and you can see in all these suits there's actually a little FINA stamp on them.
Yep.
So if this suit doesn't have the FINA stamp, that means it's not approved, it's not an official suit here, but it is Sadie Blatcher in lane number 5 who's coming in. Oh, extremely close. It was Brooke from the Skimmers, just out-touching her about 7/100ths of a second and 1:10, and Sadie just out-touched lane number 5. Both took about 2 seconds off of the morning swim, so should be happy with that. But a very, very close race. You asked me earlier, one swimmer to watch that's not on the radar yet, but it's
P3, 13-14A final.
there's a girl that's swimming in Toronto named Ella Jansen. She had a phenomenal weekend here at the Ontario Juniors International. I would keep an eye on her. I think she's looking very strong. She might gain a shot at the Olympics.
Was she Pan-Pac this past summer in Hawaii?
She was,
Lane 1 is Lauren,
She
Calgary
was
Swimming. Lane 2, Kennedy.
in a medal contention in multiple races.
Lane 3 is
Very strong
Isabel.
IMer, very strong 200 butterflyer, very strong distance
Lane 4
freestyler.
is Renumi from Calgary Swimming.
Under
Lane
coach
5
Rob Norton,
is
Novak,
Iowa from Manchester
at the
Swim
Topical
Club.
Swim Club, and this year
Lane
moved on to the
6
center,
is
but so did
Cal.
Rob, so our coach followed suit.
Calgary Swimming. Lane 7 is Ellie.
Oh, it is Ranumi from Calgary out with the only 28.04 in the
And
turn.
lane 8 is Zoe from Calgary Swimming.
She was the only swimmer this morning that was under the magic limit of 1 minute to see if she can drag anyone else down there. She was a 59.39 this morning. Good kick out, good dolphin kick. Strong tempo, strong kick. No doubt she's taking the gold medal. But Isabel Magus, we just saw her race the 200 IM and dominate that event. Let's see if she can get under a minute. And she does. Biz Renumi with a 58.56 for the gold medal, and pulling Isabel Magus with her from the gold fins in 59.66. Always great when you're able to break that barrier. Xin Yao Peng, Calgary, 1:00:28, just missed breaking a minute.
Heat 4, 13-14 B final, non-referee.
Seem to be missing the swimmer in lane 4 for this.
Yeah,
Although
that's Mila Saltel, and they were supposed to do the swim off. And I wonder, sometimes one swimmer will just decide to step back and let the other one have the final spot or swim in the B final. Looks like he decided to scratch it all together.
Lane 1 is Quinn, Manta Swim Club. Lane 2 is Lauren, No Street. Lane 3 is Haley, Calgary Swimming.
Mentioned Isabel Magus in the previous heat. We got a couple swimmers in here that we already saw the 200 AM and now swimming the 100 free. So if they end up swimming at 5:15 and now swimming at half an hour later, and you got to really work on your recovery and your routines
From Calgary Swimming.
in order to be able to keep these two races here back to back. Put up some good times. Lane number 5. That's Victoria Darling from the Goldfinch out first. A couple of these swimmers kind of floating into the wall or kicking into the wall, and 100 freestyle, you got to attack that wall. You got to be aggressive. Swim right through. Victoria Darling with the win of the B final, 1:02:04. Excellent swim for her. Dropped some time from her race this morning. She was at 1:03:93 this morning, almost 2 seconds faster. Second here was Swar.
The results on the board are official. Heat 5, 15 and over in the final, non-referee.
We got 4 girls that were under a minute this morning. Senior final here.
Lane 1 is Monica, Calgary Swimming. Lane 2 is Maya, Calgary Swimming. Lane 3 is Anna, University of Manitoba Bison. Lane 4 is Emma, Underbay Thunderbolts. Lane 5 is Claire, Calgary Swimming. Lane 6 is
Lanes
Eva,
3 and 8.
Swimming Club.
look to take the lead here at the first 50.
University of Manitoba Bison.
We got 4 or 5 swimmers within a couple of tenths of a second here. Saw Hannah Chanel off with early lead in the 25. Looks like she's fallen back a little bit now, and Emma Schroeder from Thunder Bay is taking over. Claire Bennett from Calgary is trying to come in here and battle for silver medal. It's going to be Emma from Thunder Bay for the second gold medal of the evening, followed by Claire and 57.80 for Emma. We got 5 swimmers under a minute here tonight.
The results on the board are
Claire in
official.
second, Hannah Chanel in third, Eva Thompson in 4th place, Maya Bessling in 5th. All 5 of those girls were under a minute. This is now the
Manta
B
well
final here.
represented in this next heat, the B final, the 15 and over girls 100.
Yeah, we got Isadora, Ariel
Lane
Potts,
1
and
is
Anine
Ola,
Heber.
Calgary Swimming.
Saw Anine's younger
Lane 2
brother,
is Callie,
Wellham in the 200
University of
IM.
Manitoba Bison. Lane 3 is Rebecca from Saskatoon Goldfinch. Lane 4 is Isadora, Manta Swim Club. Lane 5 is Haley, No Street. Lane 6 is Ariel.
Those great swimmer here in lane number 5 out for the early lead,
Lane 7 is
turning at 28.75.
Manta Swim Club. Lane 8 is Roxanne.
Strong second half. She's going to be pushing that 1 minute barrier as well. Looks like Isadora is trying to move up in the standings here. Is hard pushed by Rebecca in lane number 3 from the Goldfinch. Rebecca in lane number 3 is now neck and neck with the no street swimmer. Lane number 6 is Ariel Patch coming on strong and in here. Ariel's making a strong move. Let's see if she can get there. She might run out of real estate down to the last 5 meters here. Who's it going to be? It was Rebecca from the Goldfinch at 59.98. She'll be pleased with that time. And Haley Hughes from Nose Creek just out touching Ariel Patch here. Ariel with a strong last 15 meters, just ran out of real estate.
Freestyle, heat number 1, 13 and under 8 final. Madam referee.
The boys 100 freestyle A final for the 13 and under.
Quick turnaround for a number of these swimmers who competed in the 200
Lane
IM.
1, we have Cole. The Moose Jaw Kinsman Flying Fins. Lane 2 is Ron from Swimmers Rocker Club.
Good kick out from Mateo Chen from Calgary. He almost stayed down a little bit too long. He's really working on his underwater dolphin kick. To be quite honest, if I'm looking at it, it might not be to his advantage today because he's swimming really fast. At the end of his kick out, you see him almost slow down where he'd be better off coming up and swimming. However, in the long run, this is going to pay off for him. It might not pay today, it might not pay dividends today or tomorrow, but in the long run, you keep working on that dolphin kick, it's gonna pay off in the future. That's Mateo Chen out in 29.43. Strong simple lane number 2. That's Ron from Swimming Rockers. Looks like Landon Kennedy from the Goldfinch is in firm position for the bronze. Landon Kennedy 101.29, Ron 102.93. Landon Kennedy 104.48 for the bronze medal.
Results on the board are official. Heat 2, 13 and under the final. Madam referee. Lane 1 is Anka, Manitoba Swim Club. Lane 2 is Ahmed, Manitoba Marlins. Lane 3 is Dante, Thunderbait Thunderbolts. Lane 5 is Cameron, Manitoba Marlins. Lane 6 is Carson, Saskatoon Goldfinch. Lane 7 is Deb, Flatland Swimming, and lane 8 is Sebastian from Saskatoon Goldfinch.
I'm a little bit confused about the names in this sheet. I think they threw in some alternates, but it doesn't look like they got the right names on the board. Lane number 4. Ahmed Benani in lane number 2, trying to hold on to the lead. Strong push towards the end here from lane number 6. That's Sarita Wasminity. And on the touch, it is the Goldfinch swimmer in 108.46, followed by Ahmed Benani from the Marlins is 108.50. 4/100 separating first and second in this speed final. And third place is Cameron Harms from the Marlins is 109.61.
The results on the board are official. Heat 3, 14-15 A final. Madam referee.
Jackie Dong performed well yesterday. We have also talked about Rinzo Nikinchita making that next step, moving up to the over 13, sorry,
The
14-15 division. More of a 50 freestyler. What does he need to do in this to challenge?
You know, he's actually surprisingly came back well this morning. I'm not sure if anyone is going to touch Jackie Dong here, but it's going to be closer in a second. Rimso's got to keep working on his strength. Look, he's a very, very smooth swimmer. He's tall. He's got to keep working on his power and the little details in the start and turn. Jackie Dong 25-37. You got to keep building that engine too. You're 14 years old. Doesn't all have to happen today, right? Just keep working out with the long term in mind. Very, very close here for the silver medalist. Nobody touching Jackie from Calgary. very tight. It looks like Kieran Nong or Dick from Saskatoon is going to take second. 54.01 from Jackie Dong. Second place is Kieran Dick at 56.05 and Rimso at 56.81 for the bronze medal.
The results on the board are official. P4, 14-15.
Rimso on the 56.72 this morning. He's the 56.81 tonight. Obviously very consistent. He gave it everything he had this morning. And honestly, that's what I like to see. The same thing, obviously, for Jackie. He was at 54 this morning, 54 again tonight. His coaches are telling him the right thing.
Lane 1 is Harrison, University of Manitoba Bison. Lane 2 is Kean.
Arlen Lau up for the early lead here.
Lane 3 is Auckland,
Two-man swimmer.
Swimming. Lane 4 is Harlem, University of Manitoba Bison.
Good underwater dolphin
Lane 5 is Joseph, Saskatoon Goldfinch. Lane 6 is Arsene.
Shaw from the Goldfinch, looking pretty smooth at this point too.
Lane 7 is Jude, Calgary
3/10
Swimming.
of a second
Lane
behind
8 is
here.
Sean,
See if he can make a push on the second 50. Just under a second separating the two this morning. I don't think that anyone's going to be able to catch Harlan Lau. He's looking stronger. He's going into phase breathing every two here. He's got to keep his head down, and he does. Strong finish. Close race for the second and third here. It is Joseph Shaw who holds on for the second place, followed by Lachlan Simpson from Calgary.
The results on the board are official.
Arsene Warchuk.
Heat 5, 16 and over 8 final. Adam referee.
This one should be a fun one to watch. We had Ty Unraw yesterday set the new provincial record and personal best with the 22.89 in the 50 free. What are you looking for from him here in this 100?
I'm looking to see whether he's going to take this next step here. You know,
Lane 1 is
bit
Mahinder,
slow off the block,
Lane 2 is Elijah,
but
Calgary Swimming. Lane 3
I'm
is
trying to see
Obi,
whether he's going to
Saskatoon
get close to
Goldfinch.
pushing for that provincial
Lane 4 is
record in
Ty,
100. He broke it a couple of weeks ago. He's
Lane 5
broke it
is
again
Prairie,
yesterday.
University of Manitoba
Looking
Bison.
pretty smooth at this
Lane
point.
6
Very
is
strong
Arnold,
kick.
University of Manitoba Bison.
Going to get it down to that
Lane 7
50-point
is
mark. It's going to be out
University of Manitoba Bison.
24:33. Now let's see if he can come back at 26. Only 2 seconds between first and second 50s. It should be doable, but if you are a lot of that short fiber sprint genetics, sometimes you struggle a little bit in the second breath off the turn. You kind of want to explode out, maybe avoid that. But let's see if he can get down. He's definitely dominating here. No doubt he's going to take it. 50.81 from Ty Unraw. Excellent swim. He took time off from this morning. Just a couple of tenths off the provincial record. But with his speed, keep working on building a little bit of endurance. And he's going to be pushing 49 with that raw speed, a little bit faster reaction time as well. I think he was a little bit slow off the blocks from what I can see here, but working on the outer waters, good breakout, and I'll take that quick breath. Little things, lots to work on, and then benefits here is you can go back and watch the video. You can watch it over and over.
Lane 1 is Denard, Calgary Swimming. Lane
Maybe
2 is
maybe
Connor,
muted.
Calgary Swimming. Lane 3 is Sam, Thunder Bay Thunderbolts. Lane 4 is Rahad.
Raid Costello, excuse me for my pronunciation there, former SEAL swimmer, now swimming at the U of M in lane 4.
Lane 6 is Evan.
Yeah, Raid is the breaststroker.
7 is Cole.
Also capable of doing
Swim Club.
pretty good French freestyle. And 10 Doan in lane number 8, that's off first from the 25.39.
Tam, also a member of the junior team for Manitoba that competed in Point Claire last week.
Yeah, he's looking strong. Oh, big breath out of the turn as well. See if Tam can hold on. It's going to be very close into the finish.
Lane 5 coming on strong here at the end.
Could be. Oh, it is Tam Doan, 54.39, followed by Red Smith from the Goldfinch, but 12 hundredths of a second behind, and 54.51 at third place. Chisholm, 54.64.
Event 427, girls 200 meter backstroke.
That was Sam. We saw him earlier in the 200 IM.
So, Madam Referee.
Paid a little bit for that one.
As we set up here for the girls 200 back, looks like we're going to get our draws here.
That gives all the referees, volunteers time to put on their back stroke like this. Okay, so we're going to do the 50-50. We're going to do the 50-50 first. So we got $75 this time, which is fantastic for such a short session. So we're going to go, drum roll please. All right. Okay, we have 154. I think that's the same as it's always been. 277. 154. 277 for $75. Anyone? No? All right, well, it's not claimed right now. We're going to post a number on our website. And there's no phone number on the back. Okay, thank you everybody for that. Now we're going to do the wine raffle.
Steve Lang, man, to precedent, trying to build a bit of suspense here. I don't know if any one of you are watching the World Cup today with the final, but I'm not sure my nerves can handle anymore.
Okay, we got Janine, who is a Manta member, ex-Manta member. She is the meet manager for this course, for this swim meet. She's going to be the one that's going to draw the name. So we are drawing for third place. Third place, $100 will be M. Figueredo from 117th River Trail Drive, West St. Paul, Manitoba. M.
Apparently, I'm not the only one butchering names this weekend.
Figueredo. All right, Figueredo.
Good efforts.
At least we have it in print. He's reading the handwriting there. It could be cursive.
All right, this will be the $300 ticket.
Okay, $300 ticket, second prize in the wine raffle here. You don't have to spend it on wine, but you could.
Okay. Oh, we got a Calgary. We got Rose Calvin-Baroness. Rose Calvin-Baroness, 403-689-6085. That's $300. Now, first place, one more, $500 cash prize.
$500 ticket. Let's see if it stays here in the province.
Steve, Wendy Wan Marion. Wendy Wan's Marion. 204-996-3720. So if that's you, come on down. We can meet you at the Manta GM office and we will cut you some checks. So thank you everybody who bought 50-50 all weekend. Fantastic. Thank you to all the parents that sold wine raffle, cash crowd, and thank you to everybody who bought tickets.
Yeah, thanks everyone for your support. We appreciate it. Nice for those winners to go home with a little bit of cash.
Back to swimming. Event 427 goes to 100-meter backstroke. Heat 1, 12 under A. Madam Referee.
We got our two Australians, Gold Coast kids here in lane number 2 and 3. Looks like we got some kind of technical problem. We got cords hanging into the water.
Safety first, as always.
Yeah. Getting that taken care of. Good eyesight here from the referee. A couple of Calgary swimmers going in first and second after this morning. Hillary and Sophia.
Lane 1, we have Sophie, Manitoba Marlins.
Very good underwater kick out for Hillary in lane number 4. She was about 7 seconds ahead of second place this morning. And
Calgary Swimming. Lane 5
it's going to be tough to beat tonight.
Calgary Swimming.
But we have
6 is Sierra. Thunderbolts.
Elaine Johnson from Newmarket Racers down in Brisbane going for it. Trying to keep pace. We got her teammate is Anna Somerville, also from Newmarket in lane number 2, trying to keep up. Third place ended up being the Thunder Bay girl, which was Sierra over in lane number 6. Sophia in lane number 5 is hanging back. Let's see if she's more of a back half swimmer. She's going to maybe move on the second 100, but no surprise, it's Hillary from Calgary. Out with the early lead, she's looking very smooth. Technically, very smooth swimmer, very little splash. Great kick out. Close race for second right here at the halfway point. It looks like Sophia Becker from Calgary is starting to move up a bit. I like to watch their hands when they're swimming backstroke, just to see if they have a nice deep pull, and see a lot of bubbles around their hands. It means they're pulling a little too close to the surface and not holding the water as well. See that a little bit in lane number 5 on her left hand. This is not taking hard of the pull there. Holding a little bit of bubbles, a little bit of air, not holding the water as good as you could. So there's a little bit of room for improvement, little things. I'm sure coaches will point those things out. Working on your rotation and your catch. Great swim from Hillary here. As expected. Way out ahead. Sierra from Thunder Bay in second place. Trying to build on her lead. .230.84 here for Hillary for the gold medal. Drops a significant amount of time from this morning. 2:36 in Sierra from Thunder Bay. Oh, and extremely close here for the bronze medal. 14/100ths of a second. And it is the Australian, the young Australian, Amy Johnson, getting her hand on the wall. 2:38.71. 14/100ths of a second ahead of Sophia Becker from Calgary.
As we set up for the second heat here, I just want to mention a couple of our sponsors: Bridgeport Office Solution, Fenwick Company Interior Design, Guns Bakery, Eastside Physiotherapy, Antex Western, Holiday Inn Express at 1740 Ellis, McDonald's Grand Park, Oasis Pools and Spas, finish up after the start here. Maple Creek Woodworking, Team Aquatic Supplies.
We have Taylor, Thunder Bay Thunderbolt.
My timing couldn't be any worse.
Wow, it is a long list of sponsors, and we greatly appreciate that.
Definitely. Can't put on an event like this without the great sponsors that we've mentioned throughout this meet and that are featured in our program and online and on the video board here live.
Lane 7 is McKenna, Nose Creek, and lane 8 is Shade. Swimming out of Saskatoon Dolphins.
Yeah, obviously coming out of the pandemic here and trying to get these kids back in the water, trying to provide them with some opportunities and experiences and maybe travel a bit. We get the Manta Elite group are going to Phoenix here for a training camp and trying to offer some of these other kids the experience to get out and see other places and maybe to race some different people that you're not used to seeing, right?
Yep.
Provide some of those experiences, but it all costs money. So we certainly appreciate support from these sponsors, just helping these kids get some opportunities. It's a challenge for a lot of them coming out of the pandemic and having a couple of years where you haven't been able to do your sport at a level, the consistency that you'd like. So trying to catch up, and it looks like they're doing a great job of that in Calgary for sure. A lot of young girls, especially here, a very, very strong team. So they're doing some things right out there. And we have some work cut out for us here in Manitoba. Lots of talent. We just got to provide them with the right opportunities, the right coaching. Right amount of pool time, whatever extracurriculars we can throw in there with dry land and nutrition and all that stuff. I mean, in this day and age, you You got to work on all of it if you want to get to that next level.
Yeah, that was actually one of my questions. What advice would you give a young swimmer who's looking to pursue swimming to its fullest? Whether it be just hitting that next time, or grander goal in life, whether it be chasing a scholarship, or maybe trying to get to the Olympics, or even if it's qualifying for Westerns or Junior Canadians. What's that piece of advice?
I mean, first of all, I think you got to keep the longevity in mind here. So you don't want to just focus strictly on swimming when you're 10 years old or whatever. Like, don't specialize too early. The same thing. Don't swim one stroke. It's okay to be a multi-sport athlete, and the clubs are doing a better job these days in accommodating that and understanding that. You want them to last.
Yeah,
swimmers that are now, there's a 42-year-old man who just won world championships, right, in the 50 butterflies. So it's great to keep them in the sport as long as we can, but if you specialize and you're pushing too hard too early, they're going to burn out. And so that's first of all. But then dryland is becoming more important, right? Your flexibility and your strength, and that's a lot of things you can work on outside of the pool. So
Brett Hayden, being a Canadian who came out after an 8-year absence and competed in the last Olympics, I believe at 40 years of age, is another person with that.
That was unbelievable.
You're hearing more and more that in an age when kids are specializing way too young, a lot more people are coming to the forefront to push for kids to be in multiple sports and to try new things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My kids did other things, and my daughter did gymnastics up until the pandemic shut some of that down, and that was great for her strength and flexibility, right?
Right after this,
it all goes into it. So.
Right after this next heat, we're going to be joined by Manta President Steve Lang, who also is one of our sponsors in Lang Financial. He'll be talking to us about the event this weekend and just swimming in general, his own family, having 2 sons here competing this weekend.
Lane 1 is Julia, Calgary Swimming. Lane 2 is Stephanie, Calgary Swimming. Lane 3 is Christine, Calgary Swimming. Lane 4 is Zoe, Calgary Swimming. Lane 5 is Sophia, Calgary Swimming. Lane 6 is Sammy, Saskatoon Goldfins. Lane 7 is Zoe, Saskatoon Goldfins. And lane 8 is Ellie, from Northwest Narwhals.
B final, John. We got B final of the 13-14 here. Zoe Jansen from Calgary in lane number 4 with the fastest time from this morning. Right now it is lane number 5 is Sophia Meller. I think we've got something that's up on the board here. I think they moved some things around from the program. There's probably a scratch maybe in the A final. This is actually the A final. Sophia Jansen just threw me off. It was now lane number 4 being pulled up in the B final, so there must have been a scratch. This is the A final. Christine Zhu, Calgary, second 1:11.97. First place is Sophia Meller, 1:11.41. Maria Melnick is the swimmer that was missing from this morning. So welcome on, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to you too, guys. It's I'm glad you guys have taken the time to do this. It's really an interesting thing to be able to broadcast this to all those people that couldn't come.
3 strudels and 3 of you.
Thank you. Sorry, just a quick interruption here, but yeah, we come down to the last 50, and it's great to provide this. I think we have had over 4,000 people watch yesterday's session, so that is a significant amount. We appreciate everybody tuning in.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's what we were really hoping for, wasn't it? When we thought about doing this and got it going, we can get that audience around the country. And I know my sister's even watching from Bermuda right now. So and I'm sure the people in Australia are probably watching as well, right?
Yeah,
so it's really neat to be able to provide this. It was something that COVID brought on when we couldn't get all the audience in the crowd, and it was great.
Yeah, we had Sophia Meller here from Calgary in 224.40, closely followed by Christine, her teammate from Calgary, 225.71, and in third place, 232.04, is Sammy Benning from the Goldfins. Yeah, this is something that came out of COVID, because we couldn't have people in the stands, and we couldn't have as many people on deck, and still be able to provide that opportunity. And
yeah, it was really
turned out it was just so successful that
really neat that we can do it. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I know that Swim Manitoba did it last year there with PWI, and the last couple of years I think it's something we look at doing the next couple years and see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So backstroke here. I know one of your sons is a backstroker. Is that an event you did yourself?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I was never a backstroker. I was starting out with a breaststroker, and most of my swim time was breaststroke, some IM stuff, and it was really quite funny because when Ben started swimming 6 years ago, you got to be like that, and you got to be a breaststroker. So he started out doing a lot of breaststroke and was very good at it actually for a while. And then, funny enough, that a couple kids he swam with ended up saying, "Well, you got a really good backstroke." So he started working with Braden Galore actually, who was kind of working with Ben and mentored Ben for a little bit while. And obviously Braden's a backstroker. And so all of a sudden Ben got into backstroke and found out that he was really good at it. So he's got into it. It's been fantastic. So
well, it's funny when you're young and sometimes there's opportunities. You look at your team, you look at the relays, and where's my spot, right? Like, I think I could be a butterfly and get on that relay. And the same for me when I grew up swimming. I looked at it like, well, I don't think I'm going to make this FINA A standard and qualify in the backstroke, which was my stronger event.
Right.
But I have a chance of making it on a relay if I can do a decent 200 freestyle. So I started doing more freestyle just out of opportunity, really, more than talent. Right?
Yeah, so I think in my day too, it was the breaststroke, right? Not everybody was a good breaststroker, so that was kind of an open spot on those relays. So I kind of got that, and I think with Ben, with the backstroke, the open spot on the relays always seemed to be. Although he did the 100 butterfly last night, which he was quite surprised to be put in that position. But it's great, and to see Ethan coming up, his backstroke has been fantastic, and he loves the breaststroke still. So he's still doing the breaststroke. They both did the 200 IM final here tonight, and both took time off, and so it's exciting to see. Ben really loves the 200 IM and the 400 IM, which is a pretty cool thing.
Oh, that's great. It's great to be well-rounded, and we've been talking about it earlier in our broadcast. Make sure that you're working on all four sports at a young age, because you never know what you're going to do. Got a 150-meter mark here. It is lane number 2, the Calgary swimmer. That is in the lead in 154.51. Looks like she's got a solid lead over the rest of the field here. She's about couple of seconds, 2.5 seconds. Out in lane number 8, and Lauren Rollick from Nose Creek, who's in second place at this point in time, trying to get her hand on the wall. And now it's a very, very close race. We've got the third in this 200 backstroke, 13-14-year-old B final. It is the Calgary swimmer in lane number 2. The Touchawall in 2:32.84. Followed by Lauren in lane number 8 in 2:35.46, and in third place it is Champagne from the Marlies in 2:36.42.
Good swim.
Steve, a lot of work putting on this event here. How many late nights have you been working on this, as well as all the other things, as well as your main financial, which is your side job these days?
My side job these days, yeah. Pretty much working full-time for Manta Swim Club and working part-time for myself.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
It's a lot of work. It's one of those things where you don't really realize it until you kind of, on Friday, excuse me, I shadowed Chris Torrance as meat management.
Yeah.
And it's, part of moving up to the Red Shirt Society, so it was doing some of the meat management. I learned so much stuff that you would never really even expect. We're tuning up the backstroke ledges and calibrating them, and you're doing all sorts of things with setting up the quantum, the computers. The pads are always broken, needing to be replaced, and something's not working. The plungers aren't working, or something like that. And it was really amazing to see how much work was actually involved with it. So we did that. I've been the last couple of weeks. It's been really neat since we really have been putting this on, as the board members have all decided that we're really going to go after the sponsorship this year, and that was kind of our number one goal, was to do the sponsorships this year, which worked out phenomenally. I think we ended up with 12 to 15 sponsors, some really good monetary sponsors, and we've got some great in-kind sponsors that have donated things like coffee. McDonald's, Bridgeport Solutions donated a copier to us, and those are the kind of little things that we really need to make this whole thing work. Coffee and muffins for the volunteers when they come in the morning, and copiers to print off heat sheets for yourself and people up here, all the officials and stuff. So.
And one of those sponsors was involved in the making of this program, one of the nicest programs I've seen so far.
Not bad, eh? It was really quite neat because we had Scott Sampson was on our board, part of the Manta membership family, and his daughter stopped swimming, so he kind of backed away from being on the board. And he was our main media guy, our graphic designer extraordinaire, and so everything for the last 4 or 5 years has been made by Scott. And so when he stepped away, we kind of figured, well, I can do some of it, but we really need somebody with that eye to be able to do it, and the software and stuff. So Clarice, who's the wife of a board member, stepped up and she said, yeah, well, let me have at it. And this was the first year we've actually put together that whole program with all our sponsorship in it, all our heat sheets in it and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Clarice. She's out there, and Fenwick and Company is one of our main sponsors. So Clarice is part of that group that's made some amazing strides in program.
And we got Rosa Husman here from Calgary coming in for the win at 2:17.99, and followed by teammate Borshevsky in 2:22.30, and in third place it is lane number 2, that's Sonia Bakshi from Calgary, going 1-2-3 in this event, 2:28.04.
You mentioned Clarice being a wife of a board member. Your wife is heavily involved with the club as well and is helping out all this weekend.
She is.
Speak a little bit.
Yes, my lovely wife Marlene. She has. She took on the volunteer coordinator role a couple years ago, and she's had a few partners here and there come and go, and I don't think she knew what was really involved when she stepped up to that role, because it's pretty intense. It starts a few weeks out where, we decided, especially this year, where we decided to have the 2 pools going because we have so many swimmers. To keep the session times short, we did 2 pools, so that doubles her volunteer need. So of course, we start looking for volunteers. A couple weeks out, 3 or 4 weeks out, we send it out to the Manta Swim Club, and then we send it to the rest of the clubs. So she, her real time to shine is kind of that Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and the afternoons when she wakes up in the morning and all of a sudden 5 people have deleted their sign-ups from Headlane Timers, and she has a bit of a panic attack, and it sends out the email to all the clubs and to our club, and pretty much begging people to come on board. And it's one of those things that we've found that I don't know if it's COVID or what it is, but our volunteer base has shrunk dramatically. So she's having a hard time getting people like Headlane Timers, and you can see tonight we have actually 4 IT on the bulkhead. We've been working with 2 IT on the bulkhead all weekend because we haven't had enough people. So we pull them off the bulkhead and either put them stroke and turn or Headlane Timers. So she spends a lot of time in probably the last 4 days losing a lot of sleep, getting up really early to draw up all the volunteer spots and Headlane Timer spots, and then she'll work with meet management, and they'll decide where they're going to go, and then Peter gives us the MSOA roles as to who's going to be red shirts and where they're going to be. So she sits there with her computer and gets it all ready and prints it out and brings it, and then she's also got to do the volunteer sign-in, so when people come in an hour before the race, she can bring in everybody and give them their role and what they're going to do. And with Manta, we give the points out, so we have to make sure everybody signs in and does all that fun stuff. So it's a great thing. I really appreciate how much hard work. I see it first person, and it's pretty amazing. So
absolutely.
So thank you very much, Marlene. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of volunteers here putting in, but Marlene certainly has one of the bigger jobs without a doubt. But I think the fact that we're running these preliminary sessions in 2 different pools allows the session to be short, and I think that's what attracted some of these clubs like Calgary. We had a large contingent from Oakville come in and pass because the swimmers, you get through that morning session pretty quick, and a lot of swimmers have a chance of getting a second swim here as opposed to competing in Ontario. You might have a 6-hour preliminary session and not make it back in finals.
Sure enough.
So anyway, in first place here in the P final is Hazel Clark from Flatland, swimming in 2:27.86, followed by Xenon from the Marlins at 2:32.05, and in third place is the Calgary swimmer in 2:36.74. That is Meredith.
speaking of volunteers, obviously Swim Manitoba is running a number of courses, but you don't necessarily need to be certified in a specific discipline to volunteer. We have a variety of jobs available that can get you in the door. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
True enough. Sorry, I'm just, my son Ethan is in lane 1 here. I'm going to have a little watch on him, but yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of positions that don't necessarily need level 1, level 2, especially this year when we, one of the things we decided to do also was the 50-50 and the wine raffle and stuff like that. So we had a lot of positions where they were selling the 50-50s and the wine raffles and going around. We've got quite a few office manager positions that run the offices and do a lot of the photocopying and stuff like that. So there are quite a few positions. We're probably up around 15 positions a session that don't actually require anything. But one of the neat things we're going to do going forward is we're really going to make that effort to put on our level 1s and level 2s and make sure all our members are nicely qualified. And then we've talked about a sponsorship, a mentorship program where we get some of the senior swimmers, families to work with some of the younger swimmer families. It looks like Ethan has lost his goggles. They're floating around his neck right now.
Yeah.
But that's not going to stop him. That's not going to stop him. Good turn.
We got Matteo Chen here from Calgary out in the lead, and like based on his time this morning, he's about 25 seconds faster than the second person. So there's no doubt who's going to take the gold medal pending any disqualifications. But it's an open race for second right now. We're turning at about the 75-meter mark here. We got 3, 4, 5, 6 swimmers are probably within a second, and so it's anybody's race here at the halfway point. This is Matteo Chen turning in 1:11.65. So he's on track to improve a bit on his time from this morning. That was already very impressive. Second place is lane number 6. It's Maxim the Goldfins coming in for the turn in 1:23.73, followed by lane number 5. That's Cole Recker from Moose Jaw in 1:24.54. Ethan Lang is hanging in there.
He's hanging in there.
Goggles.
He's swimming with his eyes closed right now. Oh, that's one of those things that swimmers, one of the hardest parts, you lose your goggles right on the get-go, right off the start. It's a long race when you can't really see anything.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you know what happens to the best of them? My daughter's swimming at the Junior Pan Pacific Championship this summer in Hawaii, and her goggles snapped right before the final in the 200 freestyle. You had to run back. She missed the spotlight with the introduction, and people were wondering where she was when she was running to her back to get her spare goggles. Complete panic. It happens.
It does. It really does.
Level, and
it's unusual for the backstroke, but that's okay. It's not slowing him down. He's holding 7th place right now, I think. So
yeah. Got teammate Noah Cambliola in lane 7. He's having a great swim. And in there trying to move his way up to 3rd place. It's going to be tight, but looks like second is going to be lane number 6. It's Maxim the Goldfins. And the 3rd place is still open, but I don't think he's going to get there.
Oh, nice.
Was Cole from Moose Jaw 2:52.83.
Oh, Noah just about had him.
Yeah, Noah just needed another couple of meters and he was in there. Noah Camley in 2:53.51. Strong finish, as well as Noah Finley from the Goldfins in 2:53.75.
The results on the board are official. Heat 2, 13 and under B final. Madam Referee.
Relatively short session here tonight. Got no relays, so we should be wrapping this up in about 15 minutes or so. We're just marginally behind schedule by a few minutes, but pretty close to the original timeline. There's always a few hiccups here that cause a bit of a delay. Not sure what's going on here.
Why is it only 3?
We're supposed to have 7 swimmers here. Maybe somebody decided to to beat the weather. And
Swimmers are reminded that at the start, toes from float feet must
I
be
think it's lane number 3. I think those toes are not on the touchpad. He should be moving them up. Didn't. Maybe he didn't catch. And that's a problem sometimes. These swimmers don't get enough practice with this type of equipment. I mean, I assume Saskatoon has it, but still, whatever group he's in there, they may not have experience with this type of equipment, right?
I agree. It's interesting to see with our club. We've had these backstroke ledges, and I know Ben practices quite a bit with those clip-on under the ledge backstroke ledges, and we've been. It's been a real effort for our coaches for younger groups to actually practice those ledges, because you get up to this level, it's pretty important. They're such a great advantage that you can use, and if you're able to use them properly, the advantage is yours.
Yeah, so we'll have to see here in lane number 3 if he's going to end up being disqualified when they come in for the finish. He should come up with the board, and that could be why. And it's simply just a little difference of one toe. I have to touch the touchpad. You can't have the toe strictly on that ledge. So.
Well, it's nice to have this short session at the last session. We can would take us about half an hour, 45 minutes to clean everything up once everybody's done, and then we can all get home for a Sunday night dinner and relax a little bit before tomorrow.
Yeah, before going back to the grind.
Yeah,
the swimmers might get a little bit of a break. I haven't seen the schedule, but I think they might get a couple of days here to relax.
I think our senior swimmers anyway, don't swim in the morning.
Yeah.
Swim tomorrow night, and then most of our mid-level swimmers are off for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
They've got a Christmas break, which I'm sure they're looking forward to.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the parents are looking forward to it, and not having to be back at the pool for a few days is always a Christmas present.
Yeah.
So as the calendar flips from 2022 to 2023 and the short course season flips into the long course season, you talked a little bit about the mentorship program with volunteering. What else are you looking forward to in 2023?
Oh, we got a lot of things we're looking forward to in 2023. I think it's going to be a very interesting time of the year. We've got a lot of kids that are up and coming. We've got a whole set of group of that mid-level kids that I think we've discussed it, where clubs lack that certain levels, and I think we've got some great kids that are up and coming. I know we've got the New Year's Invitational, and then Manta has their swim meet, so we've got at least 2 good swim meets in January. It's going to be nice because we have our Operation Red Nose is wrapping up on New Year's Eve, and we're going to have some things that, one of the things we've been trying to really get in this year is the fun. I guess let's put the fun back in swimming. We've been swimming so hard for so long. We haven't been able to get out and have a lot of fun. So we've got the bowling on Wednesday night. That we've got most of the performance group are coming out bowling, and they're going to have a blast with that. We used to do that all the time.
Was Sebastian from the Goldfinch in 3:05:09, closely followed by Northwest Norwal's from 3:06:47. And Mahmoud Kassam in 3:17.20. We'll see if this is official or not. Yeah, we did disqualify lane 3 to go.
The results on the board are official.
It could be anything, but I suspect it was probably the start.
We'll
have to go back and work on that.
And there's Ben in lane. Ben in lane 4. He should have a good race here. This is his race.
Is he more of a 200 backstroker?
Yeah, loves the 200.
200,
I think he likes that. He's going after a negative split here, and he loves the little bit more distance. He's got that nice, easy stroke. We'll see how he does here. This should be his race.
Lane 1 is Daniel, Calgary Swimming. Lane 2 is Jude, Calgary Swimming.
Ben was a 2:16.86 this morning. What's his best time?
Syrian.
I don't know. I think he took off a couple seconds this morning.
Okay.
So, he had a great race this morning.
Yeah.
He's been working hard at it. With Tommaso and him have been working really hard at his backstroke.
Yeah.
The turns, the underwater right here where he's trying to get some good distance, some good kick. And it is, the problem, as you know, with the 200, it's technically a sprint, right? It's not one of those where you can take too much time because the time goes quickly on you. So he's been really working hard at going out, keeping the pace up, making sure he's splitting properly.
Yeah.
And then has enough energy to bring it home.
Yeah. That is a long sprint, the 200 these days. Ben taking about three dolphin kicks off the wall. See if he keeps that up.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good right now.
It's harder in the second half of the race, right?
It really does.
The water, his lungs will be screaming for air, and see if he can keep that up.
I don't know if you ever remember what you were thinking at this point in the 200 backstroke, but I'd love to be in his head right now wondering what, swimmers, all swimmers are, right? You're almost 150 into a 200. What's going through your mind, eh?
Well, this part is, it's in backstroke, it's hard to see exactly where the competition is, but he'll be able to see having a healthy lead on lane 5 there, so he's feeling pretty good about that. But the legs are probably burning.
Everything's burning at this point.
The lungs are burning here on the water. He's trying to get 3-4 kicks in.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if he can hold it, this is a great race for him.
Yeah. He's looking at a 2:14 or something around there, I would suspect, if he can keep it up. Really just want to keep the stroke rate up on the last 25 here. Keep the arms turning. Whatever you got left in the legs, keep a steady kick.
Nice swim.
2:15.53. Ben Lang, followed by the Goldstein swimmer.
That took a second off.
Yeah. I think you can look at that split. You can probably, I'll have that from his coach. Meet Mobile, he'll have it instantly, right?
Yeah,
you can look at
that's
that.
nice. That's great.
Probably his last 50, it might have been a 34 high, 35. So
True.
A little painful coming home, but
he held on.
He was aggressive and he took time off still. So
yeah, this is his last big race before he turns 16. So
okay.
So yeah, he turns the big 16 on the 29th. So it's been great. It's been a great meet for him. I think a lot of these kids, I've seen some really good times, some really good splits, and it's good to see. It's a good pool. I always loved the Pan Am pool when we'd come here to swim in it, and it was really a great racing pool.
Yeah, it's always posted fast times here.
Were you a Thunderbolt or a Norwal when you grew up there in Thunder Bay swimming, or was there another club that I wasn't?
No, I was a Thunderbolt. I don't believe there were actually the Narwhals when back in the day. Ironically enough, that David Iwanishin, who's the head coach of the Narwhals, I swam with. So me and Dave swam together. He was a little bit younger than me, and my big recollection is the very first time I was doing a time trial. We were at the back in that day, the Thunder Bay Thunderbolts swam out of the Lakehead University pool, and I remember doing my first time trial, doing 100 freestyle, and I remember swimming along and looking beside me, and this little guy named David Iwanishin is on my tail, and it's one of those things where you're like, nope, I'm not going to let this guy beat me.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I ever broke a minute, and I remember that to this day, which is hilarious. And once you break that minute, you're always under a minute, right?
Yeah.
It's that big hurdle that every kid gets over, right?
Yeah.
So, and it just sticks so clearly in my mind. I can close my eyes and actually see David about 3 strokes behind me, right? So, which is great, and he's done an amazing job with the Narwhals. He's brought that club along really well, and I believe they still swim out of the Lakehead University pool, with the Thunderbolts swim out of the Canada Games complex.
Yeah.
So it was good. We actually took a team to Thunder Bay this year. We took the Rising Stars, last summer, we took the Rising Stars to Thunder Bay for a little swim meet. I think we had about 15 or 16 kids, and we got on the bus and went to Thunder Bay, and we did their big invitational meet. And it was for our Rising Stars, and most of them hadn't actually been out of town on a big swim meet. So this was their first time on a big bus, first time in a hotel, first time at a big different pool that they've never been at. A lot of those young kids, this is all they do.
Yeah.
So it worked really well for what we wanted, right? We wanted that inspiration. We wanted these kids to realize that they are that good a swimmer, and they swam amazing. All our kids swam so well, and the feedback from the parents was that this was a great idea. So we're looking at doing that again with Thunder Bay, with the Rising Stars, and it was a really exciting time, and it was great for me. For years I've been saying we should go to Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
Bring the kids back there because it's such a great meet.
Oh, for sure, and it's a great travel experience and a nice little carrot, and a little bit of extra motivation for that age group, and
yeah,
so
it really
can see
is.
that all that hard work when they're here 5, 6, 7 times a week that it does pay off. So.
It does. You're right.
First place was Matthew from Calgary in 2:29.50 in the B final here. Second place was Rimto from Manta in 2:30.48. Third place was the U-Man swimmer, lane number 3, which was Rodmir in 2:32.13.
All right. Well, this is the last one. I'm gonna let you guys wrap it up. I gotta go and do my thing.
Okay.
So thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the time.
Good job, guys.
Thanks. Matt's the club president. And we are down to the final heat of this meet. Just over 2 minutes to go here. This is the A final for the 16 and over. Fastest qualifying time from this morning was a 2:13.33. That is Demetrius Milonas, followed by Andrew from the Goldfinch is 2:13.89. So this is shaping up to be a very close heat here, and it certainly is after the first 25. Demetrius Milonas, lane 6 in Calgary, is high stroke rate swimmer here.
7 is Brady, University of Manitoba Bison. And in lane 8 is Lucas.
Lane number 5, Andrew Nehem from the Goldfinch is sitting back a little bit. Let's see if he's more of a back half swimmer. He is just a fraction of a second behind here, but he's moving up. If you look at the split, I suspect he's having the fastest second 50. Right now it's lane number 7. That's Braden Stacy from the University of Manitoba, who's taken over the lead in 103.56. Followed on by Demetrius Milonas in 104.15. Braden Stacy, the 18-year-old University of Manitoba swimmer. But I see Andrew now making a move from the Goldfinch. Making his way through the pack here. Really, really strong third 50. Brendan Stacy's hanging on here. It's going to come down to the last 50. It's 9/100ths of a second separating the two. It's a very, very close race for the bronze medal as well, between Demetrius Milonas and Andrew Byrne, both from Calgary. This Andrew from the Goldfinch is now taking the lead with 25 meters to go. He's looking very, very strong. Braden Stacy trying to hang in there. But it is Andrew Nehem in 2:09.39. Braden Stacy in 2:10.77. In third place it's Demetrius Milonas 2:11.93. And in fourth place, Andrew Byrne from Calgary, 2:12.27. Fifth place, Bryce Cherney, 2:12.51. And sixth, it's Adam Elsifan, 2:13.49. Lane number 1, the Marlin swimmer, in 2:25.29. And in eighth place, it's Lucas Kelm from the Goldfish, 2:28.66. And that wraps it up here, John. This is the final.
Thank you, everybody, for a wonderful PWI 2022. I would like to send a big thank you to all the officials who volunteered their time, all of the coaches, and especially all of the swimmers who came out over our weekend. We hope to see you again next year, and next year remember to bring lots of money for hoodies, okay? Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, safe ride at home.
And John, wrapping up the final here on the mic. First time for you. How was your experience?
You know, just trying to keep up with you. You're a natural, and it's my pleasure to hang out with you this evening and this weekend for that matter. Special thanks to the World Sports Broadcast Network and their team here for helping us put on this event. Again, you can't have this event without our swimmers and our families and volunteers, whether that be the officials, coaches, or parents who are out here giving us a hand this weekend, and fun to be a part of it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to doing this again. We'll see when the next opportunity comes. I know we're playing around with the World Broadcasting Group here with possibly having an underwater camera, and we might next time see if we can get that hooked up and give our viewers, listeners, a different perspective here. So anyway, until we see each other again, thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and that wraps up the 2022 PWI.